We're locked in.
We're locked the fuck in.
Rolling.
Well, I'm calling it.
Roll the tapes.
Roll the fucking tapes.
Well, we're calling it.
We're calling it.
We're calling it on this week.
Mm-hmm.
Memorial Day is coming up.
This week was weird and random, but it's feeling less random now.
No, now it's literally the most perfect weather.
Yeah.
I love it. Bless you. Your hair's looking light.
Yeah, I got it colored yesterday. Thanks for noticing.
Girl.
Blonde for the summer.
It looks so good.
It had to be done.
It's like throwback to your... I feel like your hair was that color.
I know. I'm hearkening back to another era, like 2020, 2021.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Thanks. I felt the call, and I said, I'm so back.
You went, when we're driving your car, I'm your baby. Looking over in the back. That's you driving on a summer road.
Mm-hmm. And things are going to change around here now.
When the hair is lighter...
all bets are off.
All bets are fucking off. Maybe I should just bleach my hair.
Are you in crisis?
No. I'm actually not in crisis at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, like, overwhelmed.
A hair bleach in a gay always signifies a crisis.
I think I am going to get an earring.
Definitely.
Soon. Just a tasteful hoop.
Oh, my God. I love that.
I've been really flirting with it. I used to have a little bar in my cartilage back in college, but now I'm like, I need to...
No, a hoop is where it's at.
Yeah. Because Simon has his ears pierced, and I love when he wears his.
Yeah.
But I'm like...
Get a permanent hoop. Just get the one, like, these just put in.
Yeah, I just love that, like...
You want a dangle.
Just a slight little metallic, silver.
You want a hoop earring.
Not like...
Do you want to wear a Scheana Shea
No,
hoop?
I just mean like a tasteful gay hoop.
Well, first, you can't start with like a big hoop, but you
No?
could start with a small. Yeah, because
Alright.
you have to let it heal. So you could start with a small, and then they can just take it out and put, like, once it's healed, then you can switch out and put stuff.
I'll try that.
Because you either have to have a stud, or you can just go hoop.
What if I just came in with like a bull ring?
I would be concerned.
But you'd be kind of like...
I'd be like, that is an interesting choice. I don't really know a lot of bull ringers.
I feel like that's sort of... At least in LA, I don't see much of that. I feel like there was a moment like in New York and like Bushwick where I saw people rocking
a real
the
Bushwick.
septum ring.
Katie Maloney had a
Portland.
real bull ring moment.
Did she?
Yeah, she had a huge bull ring era.
Oh, I remember that. But it was like teeny.
But a bull ring is still a bull ring.
A bull ring is a bull ring. But I'm talking like people had like massive.
Oh, yeah, they want like a big
Steer.
barbell.
Yellowstone. Cattle.
It's very yellow.
It's very cattle.
I don't love it.
Nah.
I kind of want to get like up here a cartilage again.
I had this, like, it was like a half bar.
Yeah.
And it was pretty chic because you couldn't really see it. And then when you did, it was like, oh. But it hurt so bad.
Mine, I got it pierced, I think when I was like 13 or something, and it never quite healed. And then I was
Really?
like, I'm over it, and just took it out and let it go. But it didn't hurt when I got it. It felt like nothing.
Maybe I'm just a weakling.
No, I think it's just different for everyone.
But I liked having an earring.
I love it.
I think it's...
I want to get like this pierced.
Oh, that's kind of cool. But
Yeah.
that looks like that would hurt.
I think it does really hurt. But that's like an acupressure point.
Yeah. Do you see Kim Kardashian's new Skims bra has nipple piercings like on the bra surface to like simulate having nipple
Oh,
piercings?
wow. That's interesting.
Stolen valor.
I kind of wanted to get my nipples pierced for a while, and then the more I read about it and the more like I understood the risk of your nipples collapsing, I was like, this took the fun out of it for me.
Like going in, like crumbling basically?
You can have like a crumble cater, like you
crumble
can have
nip?
a crater nip.
Areola crumble?
And I'm not trying to.
No.
I was blessed with some good areolas, and I'm trying to keep it that way.
Keep them tight and preserved.
I'm trying to keep a pristine areola, and I don't need to crumble.
I am...
Especially, I think, like, at 40, to do a nipple piercing, it's a little
Rock
bit.
and roll, baby. I have respect for people of all genders who get their nipples pierced.
No,
but
I love it.
It's a no for me.
Yeah, like a tasteful, teeny,
A tasteful,
tiny
when a
little
guy has,
diamonds
when a guy
on the
has
side.
a little nipple, sometimes it's hot.
Yeah, I
But-
think it's really hot.
But it's also like,
But I just can't chance a crumble. I know my mental health. I know what I can and can't take, and I cannot take a collapsed nip.
no, we've got to preserve ourselves.
I know, and my belly button ring took literally 2
I forgot
years.
you have your belly button pierced.
Yeah, I'm going to keep that forever.
That's like very cool, girl.
I'm going to keep that for a long time, but it
This
took
is you with your
like
belly
2
button ring.
years to heal.
Right? When'd you get that?
31.
At 31? Woo!
I said, I need this. And it's just like a little permanent one anyways.
Did it hurt?
No. Sometimes I like a needle. I like the
Alright.
pain.
Okay. I'm excited for. I always forget how to say her name. The girl who did Titan, her new movie, Alpha.
Whoa.
It begins with a little girl getting self-administering a tattoo.
Great.
And there's like a blood virus.
More little girls should self-administer tattoos, like prison tats.
I think it's cool. I think.
Like in the Valley, if it like cut to Jesse's house and Isabella was in the bathroom giving herself a fucking like barbed wire tattoo, I'd be like rock and roll.
Jesse had a tongue ring. He's a freak.
He's a fucking freak.
Isabella is so cute.
She's the cutest,
She's a
sweetest
doll.
angel.
I'm what?
There's a lot of things going on just before we dive in to the Val. Justin Bieber, he's really like, is he or isn't he like on the way to the insane asylum?
He's such a little bitch. What he did to her. What?
Nothing. I was like, wait.
No,
what did he do?
He
posted a photo of a phone case that had a blunt in it.
No, Haley got her Vogue cover. And
She's on the cover?
Yeah.
Go off.
And he wrote a caption saying, I'll read it to you.
He was, check out my bitch wife.
Yo, this reminds me of when Haley and I got into a huge fight. I told Hales that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Yikes, I know, so mean. For some reason, because I felt so disrespected, I thought I gotta get even. I think as we mature, we realize that we're not helping anything by getting even. We're honestly just prolonging what we really want, which is intimacy and connection. So baby, you already know, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't get on a Vogue cover, because clearly I was sadly mistaken.
This feels like he didn't write this.
Really?
For some reason, my
Spidey
sense, my intuition is
who would
like,
write this? Doesn't make him look good.
Maybe she wrote it.
This feels like him. This is
crazy to admit.
It's so backhanded and just like, sadly, I was mistaken. Like, what? I think, he
needs to zip it.
He needs to zip it. This isn't his time. I think he's feeling conflicted about Haley's rise.
Well, she's like the breadwinner. They're basically in a JAX and Brittany relationship, which just goes to show that you can be gorgeous, entrepreneur, lip gloss, super maven,
Erewhon
phone
smoothie.
case to the gods, Erewhon smoothie, a little baby named Jack Blues. But you can also have all of that with a silky, shiny hair. And be in a JAX and Brittany relationship.
It's just so. I mean, it's a silly caption, but it's just there's a meanness there that I don't like.
And it's weird. Why are you telling people about this?
Way TMI. I don't know. He's living in I think they live in Hidden Hills, right?
Hidden for sure.
But he also during Mother's Day he posted a story that said, "Haley, come meet me downstairs. I got to show you something in the media room or something." And I was just like, what? What's he gonna do?
He's starting.
But then it was he got her a mariachi band and Mexican food, which is cute. But
That's cute.
But it just felt really everything he posts about her feels vaguely threatening.
He is really threatening.
I think she has a really hard time. I imagine she has a really hard time having to take care of him.
Well, yeah. And since they're super Christian, she's basically in it for the rest of eternity.
And then he confirmed him or his rep, someone confirmed that according to Justin, he's not a victim of Diddy, and he wants everyone to stop talking about that.
Cool. Well, problem solved.
Problem solved. We believe you.
Okay. If you say so, man.
Cool. Word.
Well, blessings to them.
I just like, I'm like, I don't know what Haley, she's on the cover just for being like a mogul.
Yeah, and people love her.
She's like the most famous woman in the world.
I know. She's eclipsed Angelina Jolie and Ariana Madix as the new most famous woman in the world.
Her first Vogue cover.
Let's see it. I want to see the cover.
I still just love the edits of her stalking him.
People, and also it's like people go to town on Reddit and are always like talking about their relationship. So for him to post this fight, that's pretty. For him to post about this fight is just, oh, I like that shirt.
Wow.
Ooh, showing a little hip bone.
Does she have a fashion line?
No.
That's coming. She should do like a row kind of thing. Roads.
Wow. I want that shirt.
It's a great photo.
It's a great photo.
Just leave it
Kudos.
alone. Just be like, I'm proud of my wife.
Look at my beautiful
My
wife.
beautiful, incredible wife.
He's probably mad that he's not on the cover with her.
Yeah. I think he's like having a...
He's having a crisis.
He's having a midlife crisis.
Yeah, at 27.
Because his kind of trajectory of fame, you reach the age of 60 by the time you're like 20.
And,
you know?
like, really, as a male pop star, all you have to look forward to is eventually becoming Justin Timberlake.
Oh my God. I saw a video that was like Jessica Biel at Beyonce with her like, I think just like a girlfriend, and they were like having a cute moment, and all these TikTokers were like, her secret lesbian lover.
I love it.
The lavender marriage.
She should be a lesbian.
She kind of was lesbian on Seventh Heaven.
She's always had a bit of a lesbian vibe.
She's like a top. She has like a athletic
she has
soccer
the
player vibe.
Athletic build of a true lesbian.
They're rebooting Seventh Heaven.
Enough.
I'm like, can we not?
Lay it to rest.
What are we going to do about that? In this time, in Trump's America,
Actually, it's like the
rebooting
perfect time to reboot Seventh Heaven. Do you know how many Christians are high-fiving at that news?
True.
It was like the biggest show on television.
I know, I watched.
Me too. But I just like Jessica's character the most. And then when she was off it, I was like, you're boring.
I like the son. I forget which one. Not the older one,
Barry.
The young one. I liked when his friends were like huffing paint.
I loved whenever they had like a drug-themed episode.
And when the mom went, I smoked pot once, and the dad is like,
We have to say a huge congratulations to Jordon.
It worked.
Hudson.
We believe there is loose confirmation that Jordon, Hudson, and Bill Belichick are now officially engaged.
She did that.
He changed the name of his boat to sort of like a 1+. He posted a photo of his boat's name, and it infers that she's officially been added.
To the boat name?
Mm-hmm.
What is the boat name?
It's in that link.
Set to confirm engagement. He changed the boat name from...
It's like how many Super Bowls he's won.
To 1+. Oh.
Rings. What is that? 8 rings? 1 + 8 rings. Okay.
Okay.
The 9th ring.
Look at her. I'm so proud of her.
So then in tandem to this
Mommy's little star.
Vague confirmation, a story leak that Jordon crashed his wife and daughter's Christmas party on Nantucket and like showed up alone and was apparently, quote, stalking around the party.
Incredible
and
work.
The daughters and wife had her like 86th.
She will go to great lengths to terrorize.
Isn't it?
It is, but she has a purpose. She's doing recon for her man.
Her daughters must be older than her, right?
I'm sure. Wow.
His ex-wife's name is Linda Holiday. Oh my God.
Well, I'm so happy for her. I hope that they don't sign a prenup and she skips into the sunset.
Wow. I hope she
Look at her putting
She's-
her boyfriend in that really unflattering sweatshirt.
Wow.
Stroll.
So Nantucket does like a Christmas stroll. That's what I was reading, where they like
They walk.
They walk and
They go on a walkabout.
Yeah, and there's like a
Nantucket, I'm sorry. It's like,
why? Never been there.
I've never been there either, but
Oh my god.
but I'm a Martha's Vineyard head.
Yeah, I've been to Martha's Vineyard. I loved it. Nantucket reminds me of Jillian on her 37th.
Never seen it.
Well, you better. But
Are those his daughters? That's his wife.
oh, that might be his.
That's Linda Holiday.
I think the daughters are actually her daughters.
Okay.
Because they were only married for 16 years and they look a little older than 16. So his stepdaughters, the Hess sisters.
Jordan's making waves nationwide, as she should.
Wow.
Good on them.
Does he have any kids of his own? Oh, he has 3 kids of his own. So I'm sure they're not happy about this.
No,
sons and a daughter.
your only route is to be friends.
Yeah,
You've got to put your grievances aside
yeah.
and say, "Hey, girl, what are you up to today? Want to get matcha and go shopping?"
Want to go on the Nantucket Christmas stroll?
Yeah, we're strolling later. Want to go shopping?
Yeah.
It's a shop. It's a shop relationship. If you can connect over shopping, you can overcome anything.
Let's go shopping.
You gotta just go into a place of shopping. When your dad is in a relationship of this level and you're dealing with like the finances at his level and you're a kid, you gotta go shopping and you gotta make her use her credit card. And she probably will.
Oh, she's got access to the cards.
She probably will use the card.
Is Catherine McPhee still married to?
Oh yeah.
Is she close with his daughters? With
I think so, yeah.
the sisters Foster?
I think the sisters Foster are close with Catherine McPhee, but I also want to say that
Good
they're
daughters?
doing it to get back at Yolando.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
They hate Yolanda, right? Mm-hmm. I saw
At Yoli. They any chance to stick the knife and twist the knife into Yoli, they'll take it.
I saw
Yoli is not a shopper. I feel like she never took the shopping bait. That's just like my spidey
she
sense.
had other agendas. She was focused on like gardening and like lemons and like
chronic illness.
and then her chronic illness. She
Mm-hmm.
was focused on Lyme, both the fruit and
the citrus and the illness.
But she was more like to her
She was like
shopping was like going into her walk-in refrigerator
going
and like,
to GNC and getting some supplements.
Mm-hmm. But she where did I see some headline? I swear maybe it was like Yolanda Pfister or someone posted something that was like, did Yolanda out
No,
Caitlyn-
Yolando. Someone called her Yolanda. That's why I
Out
said
Caitlyn
Yolando.
Jenner?
Out Caitlyn Jenner on like an old episode of something or the other. I didn't click
Probably.
the link.
They were all, the crazy thing is the sisters Foster used to be step siblings with Brody Jenner. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like that Malibu.
It's all interconnected.
It's true, like, it's like Habsburgs.
But your best bet is to get just a young broad of a stepmom
Yeah.
who wants to shop.
It'd be kind of cool.
It's good while it lasts.
Stepmom
If you can just hit in the shopping zone, life is good.
Remember the movie Stepmom?
Oh yeah. Formative.
I mean, you sort of went through a similar...
I met my first stepmom on, well, not the, I
You don't have
first
to go
met
into
her
all
in a
the
traumatic
details.
way, but then
Don't talk about anything
then
traumatic.
everyone decided we're going to make this right and she's going to pick you up from a slumber party and take you right to the mall where you're going to go shop it out.
Did
And
she?
yeah, I got Doc Marten platform sandals and a VHS tape of Tommy Boy, and I was very happy. I said, we're shopping now. I said, I forgive you for everything. Let's shop.
How old were you?
13. They said, "Can we buy your love?" I said, "Yeah, here's the price. We'll
Just
get
know
Doc Marten sandals."
She knew her place. She
And
was
then,
like, I'm going to be her
the shopping
friend.
stopped. And when the shopping stopped, things got dicey. If you don't take me shopping, we're going to have
listen, if you're
issues.
That is true. If you're ever in a position where you're like either engaged, courting, or married to a much older person, and you're the like,
and they have the means,
and they have children about your age or just a little younger than you, you better
shop.
You better shop till you drop. Shop, restaurants, McDonald's drive-through.
Oh, it is party time.
Party, and you certainly
You either
did
are gonna
party.
shop. You're either gonna shop or you're gonna do drugs together. And I've done both, and I'll tell you what, shopping was much better for everyone involved. The shopping was better.
It started out with a mall and ended with some things. But
I know, and I'm telling you,
she cracked the code. She cracked.
They cracked me. They had my number.
She found her way in through the hardest nut to crack, the oldest child and the girl.
All it takes is a trip to Penn Square Mall in Oklahoma City. I said, "Let's go, girls." I said, "This is the best
And then you
day
went
of my
home and
life."
told your siblings, "Be nice to her."
I was just like, "She's cool."
Your brother, okay. She's cool.
Like, she's fucking cool. It's cool.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
She was rock and roll, right?
Oh, she was fucking rocka. I said, "Let's fire up that Victoria's Secret catalog, get some loungewear."
No.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I mean, I was like 13, 14.
What were you getting like?
No, like little shorts and like a matching sweatshirt
I
set.
thought you were getting like a slip.
No. She was getting thongs.
In front of you?
No. But I would sneak into her closet sometimes and take a peek. I said, "What are these?"
You were so innocent.
No one told me.
You were like truly. It's so crazy to talk to you about your childhood because like knowing you now, like, and you still have like there's still slight innocence to stuff that you say.
I have a childlike naivete at times.
But to imagine you going, "What are these?"
Going like, opening makeup drawers, being like funneling around, looking up all the CoverGirl and finding like a cigarette pack full of roaches, being like, "Those smell weird."
And then cut to you like a year later.
Being like, driving. Dude, life was a cabaret. They should have just left it at shopping and we would not have had many problems.
Look, that's life, baby.
know.
Life, girl.
Sometimes you're at the mall, sometimes you're on meth. That's life. But Jordon, if you're listening, take him shopping.
Stick it to the shopping.
Stick to shopping.
Maybe no meth.
And clear alcohol. White wine.
White wine.
Spritzers and vacations.
But I don't think Jordon is in it for the kids.
I don't think Bill goes on vacations.
With his family?
They're like parked up at like North Carolina.
Well, yeah, he's the head coach, as we learned
I
last
know.
week.
We didn't know until we
No.
had no idea.
I literally saw that the 8 rings, the Roman numerals, and I was like, what could this ever be alluding to? Like, I
said,
literally was like, what the fuck?
VII.
VIII. I like,
Plus one. Oof.
I was
Is
like,
it numbers?
I don't understand. And then now I do.
Yeah.
I'll never understand football. I'm sorry. I know.
I understand it, but I really vehemently
reject.
disagree with it.
You reject all football.
I do.
Me too, basically. Except the Eagles.
I support the players, but
I support Jalen Hurts.
I reject the game. I fully don't hate the player, hate the game. That's me with football.
Wow.
Should we get into the Valley?
Yeah. Oh, and just another photo of Rosie O'Donnell, and then just like that dropped.
Wait, there's lots of.
Is her character?
Is she wearing a Wicked shirt?
Is her character only in Times Square? Like, is she like?
She's a Times Square actor.
Is she like a busker who like hangs out around the Broadway? Like,
she looks like she's
Patti
about to
LuPone.
bomb something.
Jennifer Lewis. She looks like she's about to bomb something.
Yeah, she has the air of a bomber in this photo. No.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like she's a little. Her character appears to be unwell.
I'd say a Wicked shirt is a signifier.
And a bag of M&Ms from M&M World, Times Square.
And that face. If I saw that person out in the wild, I would avoid. I'd cross the street.
The best she's looked in years.
She's looking great. She's making cameos again. She was on Hacks.
She was also on that show like Smilf, remember?
Don't know it.
Single MILF, whatever. She was on Hacks.
Yeah.
I have to catch up with Hacks.
I'm ready for the Renaissance. I've been ready. Bring back her talk show. Why not?
Well,
Does she have a podcast?
She's in Ireland, doll.
Oh yeah, she moved, right?
She do a show on.
She should go into the Blarney Stone. She should do just an Irish show.
I would like to see Rosie, like a road trip through Ireland with Rosie O'Donnell.
I probably wouldn't watch that, but I'd support it.
Okay.
Spiritually.
Yeah, but her talk show was truly the best daytime talk show of all time.
Is she still obsessed with Tom Cruise?
No, that was sort of like a.
That was a fake.
It was sort of like a winking.
He was her beard.
Yeah, which is like saying something. When Tom Cruise is your beard, you're a lesbian.
Okay, I will say.
He's looking good.
I am a lesbian because Tom's looking pretty good to me.
He looks great. He's also obsessed with popcorn.
I saw that. He said he eats 2 huge tubs. That's a lie.
I'm a little like.
That's a girly lie.
Yeah, he doesn't eat.
That's a Bella Hadid outright lie.
He eats fish. He's always talking. Apparently he talked to each and every AMC employee for like 2 hours.
They needed that.
And ostensibly you're like, wow, this man is truly like the actor of the people, our last movie star, the last true matinee idol, talking to the everyman, talking to us, the laymans. But it's really because he wants to convert them to Scientology.
And he wants them to see Mission Impossible.
Yeah. And he's
2 things that I don't want to do.
You don't want to see MI?
No, we've talked about this at length.
I know, but even after seeing the trailer this weekend?
No.
Really?
What is there for me in that world? Nothing.
Just the last one.
It's never
the last ride. I'm going to convince you to see it.
I'm
going to convince you to see it.
You're going to go?
I'm going to convince you to see it.
We'll see about that.
We're going to like...
You're going to like Clockwork Orange me in the theater.
I'm going to go. But I'm kind of like tired of the popcorn. We need to leave the pop. I love Tom, like even though he's
doing AMC propaganda, I don't like it. But AMC is the last thing, that's the only thing we have left. It's like the only vehicle in which to see a film.
But he is looking good.
He is. He depuffed and he's looking a little...
What was the puff? Just filler?
I don't know what his puff issue was. Maybe a lack of hydration.
Maybe because he's been up in the altitude.
Yeah.
He's just always in the sky. Mm-hmm. He should just live in like a hot airplane.
He's constantly swinging around an airplane.
What if he just What if he just lives in a blimp for the rest of his life?
That'd be cool.
With Anna.
With Anna.
Can't wait to see her John Wick movie. Lock me in.
Yeah.
Speaking of locked in, let's lock and
load.
The Villy. I'm Carey.
I'm Lara.
And you're listening to Sexy Unique. Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise on an airplane wing.
Valley of
the Dolls.
The Tom Cruise.
We are back in...
Sitting on it.
Santa Barbara hellscape.
This trip needs to end.
It's almost over. This is the last night.
The Santa Barbara horror.
Everyone's crowded in Brittany's room.
Brittany's literally standing there like this.
She goes,
Right.
I'm showing my entire life. I'm showing my entire life.
I put myself on the shelf. And then Zach goes, think about all the time you've protected Jax, though, Brittany. So, like, you can't really call out Nia when you've done the same thing. And she goes, and then someone goes, shut up, Jack. And Brittany goes, it's not that, Jack. It's not the same thing.
This, to me, is insane that they're getting mad at Nia instead of Danny. This is classic.
Classic VPR.
Classic VPR. They're like, we're going to nail Nia to the fucking cross when Danny's the groper creep glugging in the closet.
Yeah, Jasmine's like, No, I think, she reaffirms Brittany's point. Like, she's out here showing, all the weeds in the garden. And then Brittany goes, "Thank you. I'm showing my entire life.
I'm showing my entire life.
Showing my entire life out here.
Just don't have actual things that are going on.
Let's take a shot."
Danny wanders in. I was like, this is when you guys need to insurrect, storm Danny's
God.
room, rip him out of bed, beat the shit out of him, and pummel him with questions. Nia is innocent as far as I'm concerned.
Jasmine says, "Nia, you need to be honest about Danny." And he's like drunk right now. You said he's taking a nap. He's blackout drunk and he passed out and you can't admit that. And Jasmine goes, "I've dealt with the dark side, Danny, and it's not pretty." And then lo and behold, Mr. Nap comes, Wee Willie Winky comes sauntering in. Face he was doing, that kind of,
it's acting.
"What is this? What's going on? I heard a commotion and I came in and now I'm confused." I was literally like, I want to kill you.
He and Jesse both do this Betty Boop who me act.
He went
do,
do, do, do, do, do, do. He's just kind of it's about
they're talking about me?
They're talking about me right now? Why are they ever talking about me? And Nia's like, "Let's go outside, please."
She's in a place of Daniel.
She's warble.
She's been in a place of Daniel since the season started filming. And that's when I know she's on the bram.
He's still in a blackout too. And he's pretending. It's I know I've done it myself where you are trying to sound sober and seem sober. So you're kind of
and be confused.
Yeah. What? And he goes out and then she falls after him and she goes, "You don't need to have an energy drink when we're going to bed and have kids and have to wake up at 4 a.m. And he goes, "It's not an energy drink." I was like, what? Everything he's saying is a question.
She goes, "Get in the bed, Daniel. You don't know what I've been through." I was just like, you have to spend the rest of your life connected to this freak.
He's doing that did you notice everything he said was a, huh? Had a...
He's gone into son. He's her son again. Mm-hmm. And she's the mother.
Yeah.
Dodie, unbothered by all of this. She's still fucking outside, drinking wine, talking to her man. She goes, "Yeah, we're going to go to the hot tub." She has a big bottle of white wine. And
Jesse's still wrapped up in Selena Gomez. He looks like Selena Gomez in that picture where she has the blanket on. He's in baboosh mode.
Janet has never been more excited because now she has a chance to get in the mix and claw her way out of randomness. But I have news for her. It's never going to work.
Janet admits Danny went glug glug in the pantry.
She's like, "Yeah, and it just made me really uncomfortable."
She's right there. That's not normal.
It's him glugging or not glugging. He doesn't need to glug to make me uncomfortable. His very face makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
She goes, "We all need to be like, hey, if you're going through something, just let us know. We're here to help you."
Oh, shut up, Janet.
Shut the fuck up, Janet.
Janet is so...
I wish that someone would just go, "Janet, shut the fuck up."
I think Zach will.
Eventually, he will. But he's trying to be Franz with her.
No, but Janet will have a reckoning.
I think Janet's reckoning is...
She almost had a reckoning last season.
Approaching.
Remember when she was peering out the window, listening to them?
She had a reckoning last night on Watch What Happens Live.
No.
The audience polls were incredibly anti-Janet to the point where it looked like Andy was a bit shocked.
Was she in the studio?
She was in studio with Jesse. It was the most boring. It was like Ambien on screen. I was like, these two people are the most boring people I've ever had the displeasure.
Janet and Jesse?
Janet and Jossie were...
Jason.
God damn it. Fire them. Enough. Why are you putting us through this? Jason, even Andy looked confused, he didn't really understand who they were.
There's never been a more random person than Janet. But
you know end of Romeo and Juliet, in Baz Luhrmann, where the newcaster's never was there a more unfortunate tale than of Juliet
of Juliet and her Romeo.
This is never was there more of a tale of random
than that of Janet And her Jason.
husband, Jason.
Jesse.
Jason. JC. The next morning.
Wait, Nia's cry voice, though, is like truly...
She's going through it.
I know, I feel bad for her.
I like her.
It's giving Kim.
I'm a Nia apologist to the bitter end. I think nothing is her fault.
I feel for her. I feel deeply for her. I think she's in a twisted situation, but I have a point to make.
Nia knows not what she does.
Okay. The next morning, Luke brings Dodie perfect slices of watermelon.
She's trained him well.
Yeah. She's like, thank you. Thanks.
Brittany,
Thank you for this.
I'm feeling dehydrated and sleepy. Do you have anything for me? He goes, yeah.
I've got watermelon, perfectly sliced, symmetrical, just like everything I do, because I am training for
the apocalypse.
He can draw a perfect circle.
Mm-hmm. I believe he puts like 2 drops of LSD on each watermelon slice. She's like, I'm training my man, training him fucking good, but he is pulling all the strings.
The only people in history who've ever drawn a perfect circle are Gandhi and Luke. Brittany and Zach's fart palace looks less farty today.
It does, actually. It doesn't have the sour stench of a sour cream and onion dip.
And Brittany's like, we need to get out of here. And Zach's like, okay, so like he goes, we have 30 minutes to pack, so let's just like get the car packed and then we can drive home together and talk about everything.
She goes, I'm like scared to go into the kitchen.
I'm scared. He's like, we can sneak you out the back door.
Like, yeah, because you were a fucking bitch to Nia, the nicest person in the world.
And I wear my life on the ship.
I put my whole life out there.
I lay my heart out on the slave. And Zach's like, okay, don't worry, girl.
You surely fucking do.
He's like, girl, you're so right. We'll get you out the back door and sneak you out, and then we can have a discussion on the way home.
And she goes, okay.
Okay, let's go.
Nia and Danny are like in the kitchen. She's like, where is everyone?
And Danny's like, I don't know. I think some of them are packing up to go.
Danny has the aura of guilt.
Always.
He's incredibly guilty.
Yeah. But that's also...
Of what? I don't exactly know, but I know there's something. I know he's trespassed.
In life? What do you mean?
Like, I'm talking like biblically. Like, forgive us those who trespass or trespass against us. Danny is...
It's just constant...
He has trespassed against me.
Yeah, me too. It's just constant alcoholic guilt. When you wake up and you like are sheepish because you just are like whenever I would wake up from like a blackout, I would do like ginger eggshell damage control where I would just be like, love you, sorry for anything I said or did last night. I would wake up and be like, did I kill someone? Like literally when I came from like a huge blackout, I'm like, what could I have possibly done last night?
I know.
And then they'd be like, nothing. You just like cried and went home. I
woke up one morning like bright and early at like 9 a.m. I was sleeping like this and I just woke up in the bed and was like, I was like, I feel like really rested. And then my roommate poked his head in my room and he was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, whatsoever for would you ask me such questions? And then I realized the last thing I remembered was from like 9:30 p.m.
So you got a good night's sleep.
I got a great night's sleep. I was like, never been better. Thank you so much.
No, I'm so sorry.
Michelle is waiting around
at
Runyon for a companion to join her on a gorgeous hot hike.
And who
lo and behold, old Shishu strolls happily up the canyon road.
Fucking Princess Diana.
So psyched to be back on TV.
She gets a little entrance, like they do a little edit of her like proudly walking in her midriff.
Insane hiking outfit.
I know.
She's hiking in the clunkiest accessories of all time.
I know.
The glasses and earrings, it's classic Shishu.
She was like, yeah, I was showing Summer Moon like dance recital and like we saw my mom, she's like in full glam, and Michelle was like, did that remind you of yourself now as a mother? And she goes, yeah, totally.
Yeah, totally. I was like, that's me.
I'm in full glam.
I like imagining Scheana doing like 17 takes being like, we'll get it right. We'll get it right. No,
let me do my walk on
just
again.
do a B-roll back up.
Yeah, there's a crow over there that was like cawing, and I wanted to wait for it to stop cawing before I come in.
It's like a weird bird.
There's like a what's that thing?
What kind of bird is that?
Remember? What's that dog?
Is that a dog?
Yeah, that's weird. It's baby Fiona or whatever. What's her name?
Moodang.
Moodang comes clomping up on Runyon Way, and she goes, "Is that what it's called? Runyon Way?"
Runyon Way. Ye old
She goes,
Runyon.
"Ew, that's that wet dog.
Ew, that's a slimy dog.
That's a weird dog. Like, let's wait for the dog to pass. That's an ugly dog.
Yeah.
There's also like a weird person over
Back
there.
to one.
It's like a weird man.
They're like, Scheana, don't worry about it.
No, but like it's very Val Cherish going, cut, Jane, cut. And they're like, you don't need to cut.
No, but like they're in my shot.
No, we need the right shot.
So on the 79th take, they finally get a unbothered shot of Scheana going.
Michelle goes, over the last year, Scheana and I have gotten really close. She is a truly good person. She's right.
Where's the lie?
Where's
Get
the
her
lie?
on the show.
Get
Why
her on
isn't Scheana in every scene? What are they waiting for?
What do you want from me?
What the fuck are they waiting for? Truly. She's French. She bought a house for Michelle. I believe that Scheana bought a house for Michelle just to be on the valley.
Course.
Let her in. She wants it. She'll bring it.
She's going through a lot right now.
She's going through so much.
And Michelle goes, did you hear anything about Santa Barbara? And she goes, yeah, I heard bits and pieces. I was like, of course she knew.
Scheana probably had planted a recording device.
Yeah, I just heard bits and pieces.
Scheana goes, how's Aaron? Michelle goes, he is great.
She goes, but I worry I saw the demise of my marriage, and I worry where there was love that it will go somewhere not good. And I worry about that even with my new relationship. And I can see my apartment in the background.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow. Apparently Aaron told Michelle that he loves her and he loves Isabella and he wants to be a family, but if Jesse keeps wilding out, they might have to break up.
Okay. Shut up.
Yeah, fuck off.
Aaron, fuck you.
You make honey.
Yeah, go.
You got a good thing
Runyon.
going.
That's why she's there. Today I went to Runyon Canyon.
Scheana goes, you can't lose him. You guys are so good together.
She goes, ew, there's that bird is back.
Ew, there's a worm over there. You guys are so good together.
Wait, we have to cut it because there's a worm going by us. And I want to...
There's a fly.
Scheana, it's fine. We'll just roll and you know how this is done. You were doing this show for 12 years. I know, but I haven't been on in a while. So it's
It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
So up here, there's
there are
there's
a lot of flies. There's more flies than usual. Did you hear that there's mosquitoes now in LA? And they're like, yeah, we heard that.
So I think I got bit.
Yeah, I have West Nile. Oh my God, what if I have West Nile?
I think Scheana is experiencing a barrage of intrusive thoughts.
Same.
We did talk about how she was haunted by her choice to be on the Masked Singer. Her decision to be Bat had negative repercussions beyond her wildest imagination.
Yeah, but then she got a tattoo to commemorate it. So I'm like, is that
But that's mental illness.
Yeah.
That's how mental illness works.
True.
Sometimes you just can't let go of your triggers.
Yeah, back when I did Bat, it was really... I was going through it.
She's in therapy and they're like, so tell me about what's going on. She goes, well, ever since I was Bat, things have been...
Ever since I was Bat, the days seem to be getting shorter and the nights seem to be getting longer. It's like night bitch,
It literally all started with
night bat. She's becoming a bat. I've been sleeping upside down.
I grip the beams with my toes.
Brock is like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. Is that weird? I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about becoming a bat.
She's having intrusive bat thoughts.
Yeah.
This hot ass life coach comes to Jesse's house.
I found his Instagram.
Is it good?
No, he's boring. I almost followed him and then I was like, no.
He's a real fuck me daddy presence.
I can't even handle it.
I need him and Jesse to start an OnlyFans together. Like this whole scene also was giving me porn lead up to like a backyard
fuck fest. Well, remember didn't we have like a whole thing that he was sort of like Jesse was like hot wifing Michelle with Ball Daddy Scott, and he was like the cuck. But Ball Daddy is definitely on Jesse's side.
Oh yeah, he's
like,
on whoever's side is paying the bills.
He's like a men's rights activist.
He's a yes man, but I'm gonna need him to say yes to a lot more than just the cheating allegations.
He starts talking. He's like, they sit down in Jesse's like legitimately pretty backyard, and he's like, he starts talking about water and poison ivy, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
See, I actually like took away a lot from that analogy.
Really?
He was like, life is a garden and your attention is water. So wherever you place your attention, that's what's going to grow. And I was like...
Well, maybe it resonated with you more because you're in like a moment of gardening.
Yeah, and I'm in a real moment of learning about water.
The Chronology of Water, directed by Kristen Stewart.
But I thought, thanks, Papa, for that analogy, and that helped me. I said, we're learning and we're growing on the show.
What if the camera just cut back to Scott and I was just like on his lap?
Rubbing his...
No, just silent. Just like this. And like they paid no notice to me.
They talked like you weren't even there.
Yeah.
Jesse goes, I want to find out how I'm being triggered so easily. I was like, you're triggered because you're still in love with Michelle and you don't want to really confront the why of why she cheated on you.
He's desperately in love with her.
Yeah. And she cheated on you because you're a shit husband.
Yep. And you don't treat her well.
And you don't want to admit that.
And now you know a little too late that you fucked up, but you can't, like you said, you can't admit it. So you're turning it into like you being victimized by Michelle.
Mm-hmm. And it takes two to tango, my man.
Yeah. And he goes, I want you to scream into that throw pillow. We didn't say throw pillow. I just said...
It is a throw pillow.
It is a throw pillow. And so
Jesse screeches.
I was a little like, this is embarrassing and I don't want to see this and you should be ashamed as a man.
Mm-hmm. Why as a man are you screaming into a pillow?
This is something we shouldn't be seeing.
You really have only one reason to scream into a pillow, and that's if Bald Daddy is barebacking you.
Yeah.
In the backyard.
Pounding your boy pussy. Splitting your fucking hole in
Unless
two.
you're rosebudding in the backyard, I don't want to hear any pillow screams out of you.
Dodie and Luke's new house is really cute.
I wrote devastating.
It was so wrong.
It was absolutely devastating. But I will say the pool makes it totally worth it. The pool makes it worth it, but no pool. No, that's a suicide mission.
It's truly like, I was like, oh God.
I know, I said, ooh, at every turn it was like the carpet in the bedroom, and then the mirrored closet, and then that chandelier, and then the kitchen, and then the pool, and I was like, okay, we can breathe.
You could tell Kristen was even a little like faking it. She was like, "This is so great. I love it. Great."
Admire my queen's positivity, and I know that Luke is gonna work his handyman magic. She basically was like, "We can live this rental, but you've got to redo the entire thing." And he was like, "Yes, my princess. Yes, my queen."
He goes, "It's all going according to plan to my proposal."
I'm happy for her.
Me too.
I was sad that Kristen lost everything. Like, she lost her house.
What do you mean?
Remember her little gypsy abode?
That was kind of cute.
It was cute for her.
Oh, with
her like little bungalow.
When she got canceled? Well, she shouldn't have fucking done that.
She shouldn't have done that. But like, she really did lose everything, and now she's in a rental.
Yeah.
But like, thank God there's a pool.
And Stassi's like
queen of the world. Great.
Stassi is.
When it comes to Stassi, I go full Brittany. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Done. That's me. Anytime anyone.
Done.
Done. Done to Melissa.
Done.
Silent.
That's funny. That's funny.
Funny.
That's really funny. Yeah, that is.
That's what the mere mention.
Yeah. Life is
just dandy.
Just
turned out
beach-
great. Just
peachy.
peachy.
Meanwhile, you see your gypsy is holding it down in the valley in a rental with her militiaman. But you know what? She's gonna have her baby and she's gonna be happy.
Yeah.
And Luke goes, "We don't know where we're going next. We don't know where we're gonna actually settle." I was like, "I know where you're gonna settle.
I know where you think you're
mountains of
going to
Colorado.
settle, but you're never going to take this California queen out of her preferred country."
But Dodie's from Michigan, no?
She is, but she's a Cali girl.
But you should. Michigan is the greatest place to be for climate change.
Yeah, it's a good place.
So, better head back there, Ms. Dodie.
We'll think about it.
We'll think about it, yeah.
Jasmine comes over and they have like a long extended talk about Danny.
She made a good point. She was like, being a queer woman in a relationship, like, men don't often take us seriously and think that we're doing it for their amusement. And it's very true. And Danny, I mean, the more I think about what he did, it's like,
it's disgusting.
it's truly disgusting, but it really is.
No, it for sure is.
He has no respect for her and Melissa.
But I'm also like, I mean, I get that he was passed out, so you couldn't confront him at dinner.
Yeah.
But
Fly was down a little.
Giving a little show.
A peep show.
But I also think, like, why not let's confront Danny. I'm sick of everyone talking to each other about it. Like,
it's his
why don't
fault.
Yeah.
His wife
Stop
didn't
getting
make
mad at
him
Nia.
do that.
Nia didn't grope.
Yeah.
Danny groped.
He
so
did.
fucking just confront him right then and there.
And that fuck ass apology he gave them at the carnival bar.
Not gonna cut it.
He's like, yeah, I am sorry.
That was really out of my character.
No,
it
wasn't out of your character. That's who you are.
That is your character.
You don't respect. You probably like think gay people don't exist, and like
you're disgusting.
You're a pig, and you think that they were like trying to. I mean, it's just he needs to atone.
I just want them to air his ass out at a big dinner.
But that is in the grand tradition of VPR, like you said. It's just women.
It's like Nia's fault, but I'm like, let's evolve past this. I go, in the words of the life coach, your attention is water. And where you put your attention, that is what will grow.
The weight of water. Luke and Danny go to do proposal stuff at Kyle Chan.
Kyle Chan, the kingpin of jewelry.
He's mute.
Kyle, I was glad to see him again. Remember when he became a character on Vanderpump Rules?
Yeah, because he was Sandoval's only friend.
Remember when he stopped Sandoval? When he took all of Sandoval's guns?
Yeah.
Remember when it was revealed that Sandoval had multiple guns?
He's like an arsenal.
Sandoval was like, I'm going to blow my brains out. And Kyle Chan said, I've got you, man. And came over and took Sandoval's firearms.
Kyle Chan is the quiet...
Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah. I mean, the end episode was kind of all about Kyle.
He's the unsung hero of that season, and I was happy to see him back in the mix.
Victoria Lee was in there somewhere in the back room, just sleeping.
We need Victoria Lee and Sandoval in the Valley. What's it going to fucking take?
I don't know. Who do I have to suck?
You know what? You have to suck Alex Baskin. And he's like the producer. And you have to suck the head of Reddit, because the second that Sandoval even shows bats an eyelash on the Valley, Reddit is going to melt down and lose their mind. So you're going to have to suck Reddit. You're going to have to suck Instagram to shut down any naysayers.
To suck Mark Zuckerberg.
You're going to have to Zuckerberg. And you're going to have to spread.
Isn't the Reddit guy Serena Williams' husband?
Mm-hmm.
I'd suck.
Get in there, go on a double date. Be like, my husband to show you some art, and then get to fucking work. You've got to choke on the dick.
Okay.
To shut any Reddit dissent down.
Yes.
And then open up a pathway
I'll
for
do a
Sandoval.
full blow bang.
I'm ready to traffic you.
Okay.
For the greater good.
To get Victoria Lee and Sandoval on the Valley, I will suck whoever.
Okay.
Just putting that out there.
Guess what? I'll broker it. You can reach out to me.
Let's get it.
I'm
you're
good
gonna look at me and go,
brokering.
she needs to be cleaned up before we send her in.
I go get her some baby wipes.
Get her
I
in
do
glam.
a wipe down.
Get her in glam before she goes in.
Yeah. Fix her wig.
I really need them.
I need them.
I need Kyle Chan on too.
I know.
He held a press conference.
We gotta lose Random Janet and Jason. It's over for them.
Lose Danny.
I hate him.
Get him out of here.
Nia, you can go too. I like you, but
sorry.
it's
She's in Santa Clarita anyway.
Yeah.
She can do Real Housewives of Santa Clarita.
You're done. Yeah, you're done.
You're done.
We've opened up some new space.
The Real Housewives of London has a cast member called Nessie. Is
that a new show?
They're doing a Real Housewives of London. Not Ladies of London, a Real Housewives.
A Real Housewives of London. What if it's the Loch Ness Monster?
I know! That would be so...
Emerging from everything. The swamp.
Introducing.
Going...
Yeah, her tagline is...
She only talks in monster lingo. She goes...
With her fins.
She goes.
During like a confrontation, they'll cut to her because Nessie always keeps kind of on the sidelines. She's
not really brought into the conversation as much as you'd want her to be because she doesn't speak English.
She's a fan favorite,
and
she's
reading people to filth, but you still don't know what she's saying.
But everyone loves her. All the cast members love her, and like there'll be a fight where she's sort of there, and she goes to the confessional and she goes. And then she goes.
No, she just pours it over her head.
And they go, and then someone goes, and you got Nessie here, just always Switzerland, never getting involved. And Nessie goes,
She goes, and
they were like,
slithers
and someone
off.
goes, Dom. Someone goes, wow, bloody hell! I didn't expect Nessie to go off like that.
Nessie really lost it last night.
Nessie really lost her shit. We're all so worried about her.
Nessie goes on Watch What Happens Live, and Andy's like asking, he's like, it's time to play in Lock It Up, and he's like, we're gonna ask you questions about other cast members, and you're gonna say whether or not you're locking it up or say. And she does the whole Watch What Happens Live.
And then at the end, they throw her like kelp.
They throw her fish. Yeah. They bring her an intern and she eats them.
There's a vote. There's a poll, and it's like, are you on Nessie's side or
Was
Carolyn's?
Nessie or Abby in the right?
Abby Winchester, right?
Fight.
And then Nessie is like 98% agree with Nessie.
And she goes,
And she goes,
She's slopping all over the Watch What Happens Live set. It's like wet everywhere. She kisses Andy on the cheek and he just has like slime.
She's wearing balmain.
And a heel. Her tail is tucked into one high heel.
Each of her fins has
gloves. He goes, I love your gloves, Nessie. And she goes, Let's hope. I think that they should get like Supernatural and just like they should cast a dog on Real Housewives.
They bring in a drag queen dressed as Nessie, and Nessie goes, and she goes up to the drag queen. She goes,
Nessie is like the chairman of Pride,
The Grand Marshal.
the Grand Marshal,
The chairman. It's like North Korea.
chairman of the board, the CEO, if you will.
The Grand Marshal of London Pride. Sorry.
Luke must get a discount on this Kyle Chan ring, no?
Yeah, he said Kristen, because Kristen's like, she's a tumbleweed.
She's budget conscious.
But she's also like, I don't need big things. I just need like my man, a piece of wood.
And a $10,000 ring, no more, no less. I'll
said-
chop your fucking balls off if you go over 10K.
But Kyle Chan's like, she does an emerald cut. This is $14,000. This would look really good. And I think that's the ring he's going for.
I'll bet he gets it for 10K though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Luke says that he knew Kristen was the one when they drove across the country to Indiana.
Why were they going to Indiana?
I don't know. I was like, this sounds like a mission of some sort.
They were going to some sort of convention.
There was like something sinister about driving to Indiana. He was like, no one else would do that for me, but Dodie did, and that's when I knew she was the one. And I was like, this was a test.
What the fuck?
That was probably a test to see like if and when they both go on the run with their militia army, can she hang?
And be discreet.
And she was like, fuck yeah.
She goes, I don't need an emerald cut. I need the open road.
I need the open road and a gas station, a little bit of hair dye and some scissors.
And some
we're
salt and
fucking
vinegar
out.
potato chips. And that's all for me.
Gatorade.
Yellow.
Luke goes, we've had some highs and we've had some lows. And the lows were last week. It said cut to like last week. And she was hugging. It just left like, yeah, we've had some high highs and some real low lows.
It's every week is a year for them.
Every week is a low.
Yeah.
A new low. They're going to make it through it. I'm happy for them.
Me too. He loves her.
He loves her.
We cut to Jesse and Isabella, and she looks just like Michelle.
I know.
He must be like...
She's like the perfect blend of both of them. She's so cute.
Michelle FaceTimes her, and Jesse like leaves the room. And she's like, Isabella, the key that you took from me, you left it in the refrigerator. Ha ha. I found it there. And Isabella goes, what?
She goes, bring it to me.
Bring it now.
She's a girl boss. She's zooming and like delegating.
Yeah, she's taking meetings. She's doing generals.
She's taking over as like the head of the family. I can already see it.
Michelle brings, what key is this?
I don't know.
It's like, just kids dislike things.
She
brings it over, and Michelle literally doesn't look at Jesse.
Jesse goes, Michelle has this deep-seated anger, and I just don't know where it comes from.
You called her a hooker.
You literally provoke it. Every action you do provokes her anger.
You literally spread rumors about her and call her a hooker to her face.
I don't know where it comes from.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just, she really hates me.
Because they always do. Brittany's hosting a girls' dinner. Her outfit.
Yeah, I was a little worried.
She needs to be arrested by the fashion police. She's dressed like Humpty Dumpty. That is literally Humpty's outfit.
Yeah, it was a little Tim Tim.
It's a full-blown Humpty Dumpty.
Although that chef they have, Gino, he's a
babe.
piece of sirloin.
She goes, I hire him a lot for my dinner parties. He's easy on the eyes too. And she goes, wow, this all looks amazing. She goes, do you want a shot?
She goes, anyone want a shot?
Anyone want a shot?
Let's take some shots. And he's like, no, I'm fine.
I'm working.
And
okay.
Y'all sure you don't want a shot? I'm taking them over here all alone. It's better to take shots with people, but I can take them alone. But I'm not going to do it in the pantry. I'll do it all out in front of the eyes.
Take my shots in the open.
I take my shots all out in the open.
Unlike some people.
And she goes, whoop, whoop. And she goes, are you sure it's Kentucky Finest? Jack Hennessy.
Does she drink vodka? Who knows? Tequila?
I don't know. Tequila. I think vodka maybe is what gives her GERD.
I thought tequila gave her GERD. Her GERD Is it less? Or I need GERD.
Perhaps
I need
GERD
a
is
GERD
psychosomatic.
checking. Yeah.
Perhaps GERD was Jax.
Dodie hurtles in a handkerchief dress like a bat out of fucking hell.
She's like, hey.
She goes,
Just
what's
come.
up, businesses? I was like, Dotes.
What is this,
please.
2003?
She goes, what up?
What up?
We doing this or what? Dinner time.
Y'all sure you don't want a shot? I tried to get Gino to take a shot, but they wouldn't take
Gino
it.
said no to shots. Brittany's so fancy now, throwing dinner parties with caviar. She's gotten a taste for the finer things in life. She goes, it doesn't taste like fish. It tastes good. Take a shot. She probably likes caviar because you take a shot of vodka with caviar. Brittany is now...
Pairing foods with vodka.
Yeah. Has anyone told her about oyster shooters?
She goes, isn't it good?
Slides right down.
Slides right down the throat.
It's salty and then take the shot.
I chase all my shots now with caviar. Can you believe they're
really
eggs?
Bougie.
They're eggs. She goes, I lay eggs
They're
every
eggs.
day.
They're fish eggs.
What if Brittany laid an egg every day? Just like a solid like dino egg. And then she made caviar out of it.
Out of one egg? She goes, I didn't know fish made eggs, but they do. You can eat them.
And you can...
And you can eat them. You cut them open, take them right out, and eat them.
I've been at a party before where it was like a really fancy party and there was like a caviar bar. And like, I feel like that when I'm there being like, oh, it's so good. Like,
No, when there's a fucking caviar bar at the
I turn right into Brittany.
I go,
it's good.
No, I post up and try and get as much of that as I can. Low key. But it's not low key. Brittany goes, I just learned.
I can't believe...
I've just learned about fish eggs.
She goes, I lived my whole life knowing fish eggs taste good.
I thought fish eggs were gross. Then come here, eat the egg, take a shot.
You eat the eggs, you put them on a cracker, you take the shot.
She goes, in Russia.
In Russia, they do this all the time.
They do it all the time. I want to go there.
I want to go to Russia one day.
She should go to Russia.
She kind of looks Russian.
Brittany would really do well in Russia.
She kind of looks like a Russian like oligarch's wife.
I think she should go think about a Russian relocation.
Well, if
St. Petersburg.
They put her into the witness protection. They're like, where do you want to go? And she's like,
Russia.
She
goes, like, I want to go where caviar and shots flow like water.
You know, there's some difficult relations right now with the Russian Federation. And she goes, I don't care. I want to go.
I think she deserves to go and find a rich Russian oligarch husband who treats her like a total princess.
She just eats caviar every day.
Eats caviar, takes shots all day. No gays allowed in Russia. So she'll be in hog heaven. And
I love it.
I love it here. She goes, Zach, you can't come visit. But I'll come to LA sometime.
He's like, okay.
Oh, hey. He goes, Benji and I want to come visit. When's a good time?
Sorry.
No
shots for it.
It's not looking good. I'll let you know.
I talked to the state. They said it's not looking good for you.
They said they'll kill you on sight. But I'm going to go take a shot.
Okay, queen.
Nia and Daniel, they all sit down and start talking about the grope heard round the world. And Nia says that she and Daniel had lots of couples counseling and therapy.
Couples counseling, aka they talked to their pastor.
After Danny groped Melissa and said, go get daddy a drink.
See, okay, this is where I sort of started becoming a little dubious of Nia.
Go on.
Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Jen?
It is.
I know, I'm just...
Go on.
Go on. No, I don't like that I empathize that she had a hard life. Like, she discusses how she and her mom were homeless for a while and, like, had to, like, live in parks and tents and shelters, which is very sad. And, like, but I was like, what does this have to do with your husband groping a lesbian?
Okay, so
right? I was a little like, this is a little, I'm sorry. It felt a little like she was turning the waterworks on.
So I took it as, like... It took me a while to process this, but on my second watch and a watch of the after show...
You took a second watch?
I took a second watch.
And you did a shot?
I said, one's not enough, I need two.
Just like caviar, I always need more.
I had a new understanding that Nia was saying, like, she was mostly addressing their criticism of, like, you sugarcoat everything and act like everything is perfect, even when it's not. And she was saying, I was homeless, so I have to do that. I
Okay,
choose,
I
and
think
then
it's a,
as I
think
just
it's a,
said
I
it,
think
I
it's a bit of
realized
a
I got
reach.
fooled too.
I think it's a bit of a reach. I think it has nothing to do with like her friend who's sitting across from her got like molested by her husband, and he's pretty unapologetic about it, and like she took the route of like my mother and I were homeless, so you can't actually be
You
mad
can't
at
say
me.
that.
And it's like, what?
Dodie
It's
Dodie
kind of
goes, there you go. She goes, I had no idea that Nia was fucking homeless. So if anyone comes for her, they're gonna have to go through me. I was like, it worked.
no, but that's the thing. It's like classic reality TV like diversion of like throwing something really
Playing the homeless card.
yeah, or just like abject tragic, throwing it out there. And then like it's like when Ramona would always be like, I was abused by my father, and they would all be like, okay.
You're so wretched.
But when someone says something like that, it sort of shuts down the conversation. So while I empathize and I get what you're saying, it like she's saying like
I choose to look at the positivity.
but that has nothing to do with anything, and that's why I'm like Nia's a little sinister, or at least has been conditioned to be like protecting the man at all costs. I don't know. I didn't like how she responded to this, and I thought it was incredibly manipulative. And I thought it's very Al-Anon, very codependent, and she needs to not just go to the pastor for therapy. Let's leave the church. Mm-hmm. All right? Brittany's like, I know Jax and I used to go to marriage counseling with our pastor. He made us take shots. Afterward, we always took a shot.
Afterwards, took a shot, and he said, sign this petition. And I would.
And what was that petition? It said,
kill the gays.
Gays will go to hell. When they wake up, after they're dead and they wake up, they're in hell. Sign the petition
Said,
if
make
you
sure
agree.
God sends all the gays to hell. And I signed it.
I signed it.
I signed it because a shot was on the other side.
Sight unseen. But I thought that was like really fucked up and weird and like
okay.
And I mean again
no,
I really
see that.
I really empathize. Like that's a really hard thing that she went through, and I understand she has like sort of like she's holding down the fort for her family. It must be really hard, and I can sense she has a lot of pressure. She has 4 kids. You know, they live in a cramped space right now. Like they're struggling. Like I think she's really the breadwinner. So she's probably very stressed, and I think it explains her survivor instincts to me, which that was clear. But the question is, Jasmine, who's a very reasonable person and also is speaking something very reasonable, like your husband made me feel really uncomfortable, and she's basically like, I was homeless. And Jasmine's like, okay.
Thank you.
Janet
goes, well, I have to just share something that made me really uncomfortable. And that is that when I was in the closet.
And Nessie went,
She goes, when I was in the closet, Danny came in and he chugged tequila. And
Nia goes, yeah, I know he drank tequila, but I didn't. You're saying it was in a pantry?
It was behind the door. She really got fixated on the door of it all.
Janet was like, yes, it was in the pantry. The door was closed. And she goes, wow, that is not good. Yeah, that's definitely not good. That's concerning.
Nia's inside, her like interior voice was like, Daniel. She used trade me, but with Daniel. Janet goes, and Nia, I just want you to know, I have been in a relationship with someone with drug and alcohol problems. So if you ever need to talk about
I'm going to need to stop you right
Daniel's
there.
drinking, I'm here for you. I was like, Janet, you're the last fucking person in the world this bitch is going to talk to about that. Nice try.
She goes, Janet, I'm going to need to stop you because that feels like a big leap.
It's a big leap to bring drugs into it.
Here's another thing that really...
I love seeing these people's, like, concept of addiction.
No, okay, that's what I was about to say is, like, it's a reality show trope now that when you question someone's, like, if they're abusing substances, they're like, well, they're not, like, under a bridge. Like, that's what they're so... and this is, like... She's like, and Kristen's like, that's a really dangerous thing to call someone. I'm like, dangerous?
I'm like, Dodie, you're a fucking alcoholic.
You're an alcoholic too, bitch. But I was just like, it's so funny to me that it continues to be this like stigma of like
dangerous thing.
It's I'm watching like Roni, and like they just called Sonia an alcoholic, and I think Ramona said like that's a very dangerous thing to call. I'm like, wait, it's not dangerous because it's true.
It's literally not dangerous.
And it's very common. But it's just funny to me that they take such, like, being called someone with a drinking problem, like, being called an addict, you're the lowest
to
of the
intimate
low.
that someone has a drinking problem is, like, incredibly dangerous.
It's like, no, what's more dangerous is that your husband molested someone.
Yeah, and glugged.
And glugged in a corner. He hunched over and glugged.
Just for shits and giggles. Like, not even to socialize, just, like, he glugged for the sake of the glug.
He glugged to go to sleep. He took a nap. Like, he glugged to turn off his brain.
That's strange.
That's strange. And that us as the viewers, when we saw him follow Janet into the pantry, our first instinct was he's going to try to
her
grip
ass
her.
is not safe.
Which is like, and that's
a problem.
And even if it's Janet, I don't want anything to happen to her.
Dodie goes,
it's really
this is like fucked up. This is dangerous. But here's the big takeaway. If you have a problem, just go to that person straight up.
Like,
and everyone goes, yeah.
But I was like, also again, Dodie, you are the queen of talking shit.
No,
right?
Dodie also just like the new like healed Kristen loves to take up on behalf of like the homeless. And in this case, like Nia, she's like doing like public service and like fighting to end homelessness in her mind.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, this is like justice.
Yeah.
She's like, she was fucking homeless.
You have to be nice to her.
So you're all gonna be nice. Rock and roll.
Brittany was just like, what?
Roll. She falls over. She falls over a wall and cracks. Humpty. She went full.
Her legs in the air.
She's Humpty core. Like that is like and someone needs to intervene. If I dress like that, like anyone, like you're Humpty.
Mm-hmm.
Nia goes, oh, now my Uber's here. Gotta go.
Bye. Daniel.
Brittany goes, I feel like that was really positive with Nia.
I think that went really well. Don't you think?
Well, huh? And
It's so sad to hear that she was homeless.
What do you think about homelessness? She goes, seems like it's a real issue.
What do you think? Sometimes I think it's their fault.
And they're all like, I don't think that's how it works.
Aren't all homeless people gay?
I don't really think that's how it works, Brittany.
And aren't they gay?
Aren't most gay people homeless?
There are a lot of disproportionately.
She goes, but they're
LGBT.
gay, right? She goes, was Nia's mom gay? Because that might be the problem.
Oh, yeah.
Those two
I don't
things
think any of those
really
things
correlate.
Yeah.
Kristen goes, are you talking about gay people? Are you talking about homeless people?
She goes, some of my best friends are gay, and some of my best friends are homeless.
And,
so
and one of my best friends experienced homelessness, and
so
you just heard about it right here. And you're going to fucking come to me and say this shit? I don't fucking think so. Go straight to her, straight up.
Do you think Nia's gay?
Do you think Nia's gay?
Maybe Nia's gay.
Do you think she's a lesbian?
I think she maybe be a lesbian.
Jasmine, you're a big old dyke. Do you think she's gay too?
Yeah. Do you ever get that? Jasmine,
are you homeless? Jasmine's like, bitch, what the
Are you
fuck?
and Melissa homeless? Because aren't all gay people homeless? That's what my pastor says. They said they're homeless because they don't belong in the home, and the home rejects them. And the home is the
home
place
is
of
meant for a
God,
man
and
a
God
woman
rejects.
and a child.
So when you have two people of the
shops.
same sex in the same home, and they're living in the same bed, then the home will reject them,
And they'll be homeless.
and they'll be homeless.
So that's probably what happened with Nia. No? Can I get a shot? She goes, Gino, can I get a shot?
Jada, take a shot.
Jasmine's still reeling from Dark Side Danny. And I get it. I just hate him too. I don't even care. Even if he didn't do anything, I'd hate him.
she's like, has like PTS.
Yeah, she's bothered.
It's freaked. I mean,
freaky.
It's such a horrible, like, go get daddy a drink.
Ew. Who do you think you are? She should have beat his ass.
Yeah, she should have taken her knuckles and gone
She
into
also
his eyes.
brought up a good point where it's like, if Danny had done that to any of the married couples, like if he went up to Janet and did that,
Oh, it'd be Janet.
there'd be hell to pay.
Janet would never let anyone hear the end of it.
No, Janet would.
Which she shouldn't, but like, it's
It's a double standard.
There's a double standard for gays, especially gay women. They don't get they're.
Brittany goes, are you sure you weren't a little turned on? That's kind of sexy. No? A little bit. Did
Are you sure you're...
Did you think maybe you were straight? when he did that? She's like, no.
Do you ever think sometimes I wish I wasn't like this? My mom always says sometimes they grow out of it.
My pastor says no one's born that way. So maybe it's a choice. You ever think about that?
They say it's Satan. Satan makes it that way.
They say God doesn't like it.
Satan's gay, you know. He's a homosexual.
And he's homeless.
God is homeless.
God has a home. His home's heaven.
His lives in a big, beautiful mansion.
No home and roams the face of the earth. And he's tempting you. So maybe this was a good thing. Make you think.
Anyway.
Nia gets home to her truly cursed abode.
And Danny's
He's like, hey, how did girls' night go?
She's like, we need to get in the bed to talk about it. And I was like,
taking to the bed to have a deep discussion.
She goes,
You days
everyone told me you drank tequila behind the door, Daniel. And he goes, did I? Maybe it was behind the door, so I had to close the door to get to it. And she goes, but you did drink tequila behind a door. And I was like, this man is a liar.
The door keeps the score.
Guilty. The door and the whore, Janet, kept the score. I hate Janet so much. Get off my fucking TV.
Nia and Danny are still in bed. All of a sudden, Brittany pops up from behind the bed and goes, hey!
Hi, you're a married couple. You're doing great. Just wanted to say you can have a shot behind a door, not behind a door. I won't judge you.
Did you guys ever think that maybe you're gay? I think maybe Danny's a little gay.
You should divorce him.
Why don't you guys fuck?
I think Brittany wants everyone to be divorced so she can
take shots,
but also be in like a lesbian commune matriarchy. In her deepest, darkest, she is the gayest of them all.
Oh, of course.
Then Janet and Jason talk. I was like,
I went like that.
I went.
Nessie went.
Who cares?
Who gives a fuck? Sorry, Janet.
Sorry, John.
Jason is hot.
He is hot, but too boring.
Yeah. Random.
Let's do a cult shout out. Kara England.
Sexy, unique Gandalf.
Ro Rosengarten.
Ash Kelly.
One of the Doles.
Teddy the Schnauzer and Tony Mango's Colt.
Alex Delisle.
Obviously.
Emily Vaughn.
Gina Sapienza.
Sarah Elizabeth from Boston.
Lucy from London.
Brooke Johansson.
Lilia Farrell.
Brittany Rindemweiss.
Danielle from the Brim.
Mazatov Laws.
Mary.
Katie Solon.
Mike Earhart.
Diego and Darian, DC's Tom Ford couple.
Matthew Thomas.
Owsley Robinson.
Kathy West.
Kit Moore.
Orlando.
Patron of the Farts.
Nick Sedaris.
Mr. Brandon.
Emily.
Kim Lucas. Drone. Drew.
From Toronto. Katie the Sup Lawyer.
RJ.
Modern Counseling, McLean, Virginia. And Jeffrey Pratama.
Guys, thank you for subscribing at the cult members level. And thank you also to all our Patreon subscribers. If you are a fan of this podcast and you have not checked out the Sup Patreon, you're missing out because there's so much premium content behind the paywall. You'll be in hog heaven. I'm going to give you a little preview now from this week's bonus episode. So give it a listen. And if you like what you hear, go to patreon.com/sexyuniquepodcast and become a member.
Addition to our coverage of the Jordon Hudson takeover of American culture. But Bill Belichick finally disclosed, according to him, why she's CC'd in all his emails.
Why?
Because he gets so many, and it's hard for him to like field all of them.
So she's basically his assistant.
Yeah.
That he can fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? He's just
Simple
trying to streamline.
Fuck.
I think if you just hire your hot 20-year-old girlfriend to be your assistant, then you're really avoiding the problem of like sexually harassing whatever assistant you have working for you.
I love her. Look at her.
I know.
Their vibe is... The vibe that they give off is very,
It's wild.
You know that strange girl that lives with Caitlyn Jenner, Sophia, what's her name? They're kind of giving Caitlyn Jenner and Sophia.
They're giving
Right?
it's like kind of asexual.
Yeah. Well, they're not, according to them. Oh my God, they're so scary.
Sophia Hutchins. And
Sophia
Kate.
Hutchins.
But I know that's what I'm saying. Is
she's like Caitlyn's manager now.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is Jordon and Bill kind of have an asexual vibe.
They
too,
do. They do.
despite being like overtly kind of sexual.
She's coming in for the kill.
I know. I love it.
His family, I guess his kids are worried about the will.
Girl, get in
which-
line.
Yeah. He has a net worth of $70 according to
$70?
70 million, sorry. $70. He's lower than the Pope.
I know. God, vow of
70
poverty.
million, I'd be worried. If my dad was worth that and some
Girl,
Miss Maine comes in and
I think you gotta just like,
I'd cozy up to her. That's what I would do.
you gotta make friends, but you also, if your dad is like an unreliable poonhound of that nature, you have to really understand that you can't bet on a will, and nor should you. You
Right.
you need to make peace with like, there might not be a will once the ladies are done with my dad, and I'm gonna just go my own way and forge my own path.
Respect to Jordon. I'm sorry.
She's doing like,
She's
she's
really
doing important work.
it's like vaguely Svengali.
If I was his kid, like I'd be really upset, but I also like, this is a good opportunity to learn and learn true independence.
Yeah.
Which is there's nothing for you in the future. This will is all but meaningless.
It's all Jordan.
It's all hers now. You won't regret it.
Ta-ta.
Bye. Sexy Unique Podcast is created and hosted by me, Lara Marie Shanehalls, and co-hosted by the inimitable Carey O'Donnell. This episode is produced by Sierra Pavia. The audio and video versions are edited by Morgan McDonald. Production and post-production services provided by Bad Ladder. Additional production assistance provided by Jen Shad.